Good morning, lovelies. Monty here, your favorite fairy scholar. This is definitely the first time we've done this interview. There's no scuff, no scuff at all. Actually, we didn't fuck
Can I
anything
just say
up.
something?
Yes, go ahead.
I find really funny that you say good morning even though it's like 3:30 p.m.
Oh yeah, I don't know what it is. I just like that phrase. I'm not at all a morning person, so I don't know why I gravitated to it. I will say that phrase if it's 9 p.m. my time. I just say it. That is my thing.
I mean that's fine, but it's just like the thing is though, when we did our first collab and stuff, I was the one who slept till late, and it was just so funny to me.
But yes.
Oh god.
My second sweet and spicy interview with the wonderful Sakura Masaoki. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Sakura Masaoki, and I'm so happy to be here.
Nice, awesome. And together with some other cool people, we make up Say So Industries. If you'd like to see more of us, or if you'd like to join our Discord, you can find all the information in the description.
By the way,
yep.
Most of the Say So Industries people he had been kidnapped for Monty. Monty has kidnapped all of us.
Yes, it's great. I lack social skills, so oh my fucking god, it's not light above. What under the light? YouTube's giving me another fucking error. I am so bloody sorry about this, everyone.
Is the audio still fucking up?
It might be.
Let me check.
I am asking a friend, phoning a friend to check. I really want this interview to work, and yeah, I really don't understand. Okay, let's check out a few things. Anything? Okay. I wonder if this might be a just a weird YouTube blip. I'm very sorry about this.
It sounds fine.
Sounds fine
to me. If anything, my mic sounds a little bit low quality, but that's okay. I'm used to it.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna quit a ton of stuff to take load off the CPU. I'm hearing that it's quiet. So let's go ahead and bump some stuff up. Okay. Very sorry about all this. So the second of our Swing Spicy interviews, hopefully not a trend that they are all discussed. But the concept is that I get to know VTubers big and small. There were a series of spicy questions that like really hit at the heart of who they are, with intermittent sweet questions to lighten the mood. And yeah, before Indie definitely didn't happen before this interview. Me and Sakura had been talking about we'd been talking about hydration, and that was a good segue into our first sweet question. Do you like to drink soft drinks?
Well, the answer was yeah, I do. But you know, I can't have them quite often. I prefer to have water just in case. So.
Yeah.
But it will also be not, you know, H2O, more like teas and stuff, like or like lemonade.
Okay. Yeah. And there's I think I lean more into that. Like I like soft drinks. Root beer is probably my favorite, but I'm more of like a tea or water kind of person, cause.
Oh yeah, I found that I was googling and stuff, and yes, root beer does count as something because it's carbonated.
Ah, okay. Well, luckily I have that very sporadically, so that's not much of an issue. Yeah, I've I'm on the dinner side of things, but I still don't lead a very healthy diet, and one of the things I did was just cut out soft drinks for the most part, because if you're thirsty and you reach for like Gatorade or any soda, you probably just want the water content, and then all of the sugar is just, you know, like extra, and that's not what you want.
Well, yeah, not only that, having too many soft drinks, even if you're not you're not like overweight and stuff, all that can do is just give you diabetes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And my parents have a history of diabetes, so I very much don't want to go down that road.
Yeah. Although, let's be fair, people with diabetes can live long lives. Like
Absolutely.
One of my grandmas did. In all reality, if you're going a little bit of a spicy answer without it having a question, my grandma didn't pass away because of her diabetes, but because of little infection in her feet.
Damn.
Yeah, and also I apologize for the noise in the background. You know, family.
It is what it is. Can't be helped. And as we're breaching a bit of a spicy topic, let's move on to our first spicy question. What are your thoughts on the pandemic?
Help me out.
Yeah.
No, seriously. The pandemic didn't change a lot for me in the short run. I mean, I was talking with a friend earlier that in reality, it didn't change mine or her lifestyle pretty much. The problem is that it's taking a toll on everyone by this point, even people who don't get out enough. Because as you turn out to know, at least particularly for me, I don't really have a high chance of relating to my family too much. Not because we don't get along or anything. It's just we have different interests. We have I am the one who stays on the computer all day, while my sister is on YouTube and TikTok 24/7, and my brother is literally just out working and stuff. So like, we don't really get a lot of family time together. The people who I relate to the most is my mom. So like, I miss having people to actually talk to that is on person. Because even though I say that, you know, I'm not a person who wants to go out and relate to people, the little things of, you know, just going out and saying hello to the keeper of the shop, or just when you go to school, saying hello to the people that you are on school with, and talking to the teachers and stuff. Those kind of little interactions have been lost, and right now I'm taking a little bit of a 2 to 3 week break on school. I asked permission, and I realized that I just really do miss it. So, What about you though? How has the pandemic impacted you?
I think I've fallen on much the same road. I lucked out in that I get along okay with my family. We're all nerds, and I have a good relationship with my brother. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I consider myself a shy introvert, but like I still want to be near people. Like I think, you know, before the pandemic, I would have said that I would have been fine staying in my house all day every day. But no, like there's the really subtle things of just being able to talk to people and having that human contact. Like, I miss it so goddamn much.
Yeah. Not only that, having a proper routine, because you know, you had a job for a little while. I did not. I literally, all I did was just go to wake up, be at school until like 3 in the morning, at virtual school, and then after that it would be like, well, time to go back to YouTube, or time to go back of playing other games and stuff, and I'm like, that's not healthy. As much as gamers in our day and age want to say that that's what they want to do, the longer you do it, the longer you realize that in the end, you are gonna crave human contact or interaction, or just going out at some point in your life. And it's gonna be so much that you're even gonna dislike gaming at some point just because you wanna just be with people.
Yeah, and I think I'd come to that conclusion independently. Like, God, like we've been, or at least America has been in quarantine for almost a year now. I would have thought I'd be surrounded with like games and anime and books, but no, I've almost done less of that because like everything else is so weird and I can't like relax normally.
Yeah, because if you realize, the activities that we usually do to relax, like playing games, anime, watching movies, they're now not relaxing anymore. They, at least for me, they become just a thing of I get bored while doing them because now it's everything I do.
Right. They're no longer like the treat you have to break out of the regular flow of things. Oh, that's we need
and that's
out,
really
man.
sad.
Yeah, it really is.
Particularly for me, that I've been having a rough patch with anxiety and stuff. Although you can at least, if you allow me to say a bit about this,
absolutely, go ahead.
all I can really think about is the bad things, and even when I'm doing good things, like right now I'm talking to you and playing, sometimes when I have like really bad days, and not even those things can help me. And what my friends told me yesterday is that really, for the mind to work properly, you need to be both physically tired and mentally tired. And you know, watching movies, being inside all day, playing games doesn't really tire you mentally as much as just literally going out and talking to people.
Yeah, that's true. It's a weird state of like complacency. Like we're in stasis, and it's this isn't healthy. I can't wait for things to be back to normal, man.
Dude, I don't know when you're getting the vaccine, because you know we're both pretty young. We're kind of like at the shoehorn end. With how my health issues been recently, I've been asking my healthcare provider if I can get the vaccine earlier when my mom gets it. The answer was no, but you know, I don't know if you have been asking about that, because I heard that some people in the United States are able to get the vaccine now.
I haven't asked. I wonder if me asking is a little bit selfish. I'm, as far as I can tell, you know, able-bodied. Like there's so many people that need it more than me. And I'm a bit of a shut-in anyway. So
well, the thing is that with you having a history of diabetes on your family, and you being, you know, because diabetes unfortunately is something that it can also be transferred by blood. You know, diabetes is one of the emergency cases of when you should absolutely get the vaccine, even if you're completely healthy. Particularly any autoimmune illness like diabetes, anemia, any sort of cancer, you know, anything that will make your body be against you needs the vaccine. So please, if you are able to get vaccinated, because the vaccine is free, they're not charging anything, at least as far as I know.
Oh yeah,
if you're able to get the,
I'm definitely gonna get it. I'll see if I can't speed it up, because a faster return to normalcy would be nice.
Yeah, and even then, just a reminder to you and people who are thinking of getting the vaccine early. Reminder that the vaccine is not gonna prevent you from, because you're absolutely well if you don't fucking social distance and take care of yourself. It will just make it more durable, more. It will make you not die.
Yeah, and it's not a get out of jail free pass by any means. Hey, fingers crossed. You know, like I've heard good news about like the spread of the vaccine and how like the rates of people getting vaccinated. It's optimistic.
Go ahead.
That's all. Yeah.
At least with people in the United States, I heard that it's been going a little faster for you guys, and here we're still on the elderly. But you know, my friend who works at that healthcare system and stuff, she's been telling me that it's going a little faster for you guys, because if you're already opening up to people with chronic illnesses. Here with not so much. Here is still just 60 people from 60 and up, but you know, let's just hope that eventually, as we move along with this, everybody will get vaccinated, and if those who don't, well, natural selection, bitch.
Yeah, well put. Okay, so moving on to a sweeter question, one that hits close to the heart of all of us. How did you get into otaku culture?
Oh,
I sense a story here.
You go first, because mine is gonna take a while.
So my path into otaku culture has been like everyone around me has tried to pull me in, and for some dumb reason I kept like I was very much in the closet of like I'm not a weeb. I'm not gonna admit I'm a weeb. And God, when did it start? So I mentioned this in my first interview. My first like taste of anime was watching Toonami with my brother. I think I was like 7 and he was 5. And the very, very first episode of Naruto came out, and we were like, "Oh, whoa, what is this? What is this cartoon?" And Naruto pulls out the sexy no jutsu, and we're like, "Oh, we're in trouble, and we can't watch this anymore." And we just didn't tell our mom, and we continued to watch until we hit like the second filler arc. And
Mother Solana, if you're watching this, get him.
No, oh no. But yeah, that was what like introduced me to anime, and then a lot of Ghibli movies also did that as well.
Oh yeah.
I started off with Kiki's Delivery Service, and then I
never watched that one actually.
It's good. It's feel good. Very what is it? There's a specific term for it.
I feel good kind of movie.
It's like a child growing up sort of story. There's a specific term for it, but yeah, it's very good, very like emotionally mature almost. And Spirited Away is my absolute favorite Ghibli movie. But I still didn't really consider, like I didn't really get into otaku culture until like November, when I had finally been dragged into the VTuber rabbit hole.
Well, I'm glad that they dragged you in, because we will have never met each other if that was the case. Maybe I wouldn't have never been here without your support. Because I must shout out Monty. He during my mental states of mine, he's been one of the people who's been helping me. So thank you, Monty.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you very much. This is what any good friend would do.
Yeah. So everybody, please subscribe to Monty Solana if you want more psychology therapists.
Yes.
But yeah, in my case with anime culture and just otaku culture in general. Well, first of all, let's just say that when I was a kid and I got into anime was social death.
Oh yeah. Oh yep.
Kids these days, and I'm at the risk of sounding really old and crinkly. Kids these days had it really easy with anime, because it's like, oh my god, you're watching, I don't know, Boku no Pico. Wow, you're amazing. Like, damn. Like, anime is more acceptable now. But in my case, when I started liking anime, dude, I got steamrolled on fucking middle school.
Jeez,
like, I cannot tell you enough. But to get to the actual backstory, one day when I was sick, I was really, really sick that I couldn't go to school, that I stayed home like 2 to 3 days. I was just watching cartoons on my mom's bedroom, which used to be my bedroom as well. And I was just watching cartoons, being really, really sick, being really dying. And at the time, this show, which may or may not relate to my name, I don't know if you have heard it before, Cardcaptor Sakura. This show came on, and it was the first episode of Cardcaptor Sakura, and I watched it and I was like, what is this? Like, oh my god, this is so good. Does this only happen at 8 in the morning? Because back in the day, your day didn't start until after school was done. So And so it's like, oh my god, it's 8 in the morning, and I'm watching like this. At the time, we didn't know that it was a magical girl show. But you know, I started watching and I was so into it that the next 2 days I tried so hard to me to pretend that I was still sick, or I hit my mom's phone so that the alarm didn't wake up and we would miss school.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was really inventive back in the day. Just so that I could stay home and watch Cardcaptor Sakura, which unfortunately, even the days with that work, they stopped airing it in that particular channel.
Oh no.
And then, you know, for a few days after, few years after I didn't get that much into anime, I started drawing a bit of anime and stuff. Until, you know, a little video on YouTube popped up called Triple Baka. Do you know that video?
I do not.
Triple Baka is literally the single song that made everybody think that Vocaloid was an anime. Because it really was just an anime opening. And, you know, I started listening to it and I was like, this sounds really good. And, you know, this girl, I'm sure they have a fun life playing on games or whatever. And I looked up everywhere, Vocaloid anime, Hatsune Miku anime, Triple Baka anime, like trying so desperately to find it. And I found out about Vocaloid culture in general and what Vocaloid entails. And I fell into the biggest rabbit hole ever, because everything after that became just me loving Vocaloid.
Ooh.
And after you know, when my Vocaloid days started dying, this is literally just a series of unfortunate events. I found out about yaoi anime.
Oh.
And you know, I am a yaoi fan. I'm proudly a fundanshi. And, you know, in yaoi anime, I was told by this, by the way, yaoi anime was so rare, but it was also rare because it was pornographic. So my first yaoi anime was sensitive pornograph.
I like it. I like it. Gotta start them strong.
Yeah, it's a good segue for a spicy question, by the way.
How unfortunate. I don't have one that fits quite that. I did have a follow-up question to the otaku culture, which we can get into real quick. How did you get into VTuber culture as well?
Again, series of unfortunate events.
I love it.
Well, you know, it was like, I want to say it was December of last year. Like I heard about VTuber culture way earlier than that, because in VTuber culture started popping up like all through all of last year. And I, you know, ignored it because I was like, whatever. Because it was one of my phases of hating everything that everybody liked, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And at the time, I was like, yeah, this is boring, man. I don't know why you guys watch this. And then I was scrolling through Facebook. Yes, I'm a grandma. I have permission of scrolling to Facebook. But I was scrolling through it, and I found this neat little clip of saying, I'm everyone's winning son. And I was like so entranced by it. It was a Spanish translation, by the way. And I was just like enamored with the personality, and I looked it up because I didn't know who he was. And I was like, oh, so he is a VTuber. He's not just, you know, a YouTuber. He's a VTuber. And after watching some clips of him, I realized that it was really amazing what he did and how he was able to bring people together like that. And then I found that this neat little video called the unhelpful guide to Holostars. And after that, it was just I fell for one, for the other, until I ended up subscribing to every single Holostars member.
Ooh, I love it. Sasuga winning son.
Sasuga winning son.
I really gotta watch more of him.
You should.
There aren't. I wish Holostars got more clippers and translators. Like they deserve it every bit.
Yeah, they do. And unfortunately so. Most of the translators for Holostars have transitioned to Hololive translations because unfortunately Holostars translation don't really get that many clicks.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate. I think we're starting to come around a curve where a lot more people are paying attention to Holostars. Each of the Holostars people are growing a lot faster. Like I think Rubberu just hit 140K today.
Yeah.
And I want more. He needs more. He deserves more.
Every single male VTuber in this community deserves more, including you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, all of us. You, me, we're climbing up to the top, hand in hand. Okay, so, well, actually, so my as for how I got into VTuber culture, many of my friends. Oh wait, hold up, what's going on? Let me tell you if YouTube didn't give me notification anymore. No, YouTube, stop messing with me. This is insane. Come in.
Did it not give you the?
I think it's because this is technically my 4th stream in an hour, and YouTube must have been like, okay, maybe you're spamming.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. As for how I got into VTubers, My friend group had been into VTubers for a while, but for a good amount of time, I didn't know that VTubers were like an actual person. I thought they were anything as Vocaloid of like, okay, this is computer generated. It's really cool, and there is a voice actor. But I saw what was it? Fubuki's Scatman video, and again, like, because it was music, I just thought, okay, well, this is in the same vein as Vocaloid, neat, but that's not really my thing. And my friends have been talking about that for a while, and I just kind of like ignored it, and it was almost much like you, where like, okay, everyone's talking about it, and I'm gonna reject it now. I don't want to be one of the sheep or blah. But then I come across a clip of Callie not knowing how to play the kazoo, and I was like, oh, that is like that is the amount of like dorkiness that I fucking love, and that drew me in. And I've fallen down the rabbit hole faster than any of my friends. Each of my friends were very much like, oh, it'd be really cool to be a VTuber. I was the only one that did it. And I don't regret it. And you had mentioned before, like, I've met so many cool people ever since going under the VTuber rabbit hole and being a VTuber. I cherish all of them.
Hi. Sorry, I'm trying to do.
Oh, no worries.
I'm trying to do the Japanese thing of, hi. It sounds really racist. I'm sorry.
Hey, I mean, like, it's I think so many of us VTubers, take inspiration from Japanese culture anyway, and we're trying to learn Japanese, so I think it's fine.
Speaking of learning Japanese, if I may do a little segue.
Yeah, sure.
This past few days, when I've been watching YouTube a lot, I literally went into a YouTube video. I think it was one of your streams, actually. And a Japanese ad popped up, like it was fully in Japanese. But they said, and I quote because I understood it at the time, hello, my name is this and that, and you're now in Mexico. And I didn't realize that it was them talking to me in Japanese until I actually, it clicked in my brain that I understood you. The fuck?
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I wish I could get to that level. I've been doing Duolingo every day for 2 months, but I do it.
I do a streak.
It's I do it so little per day that like it's I'm learning, to be sure, but it's slow. And it's everyone that I talk to about Duolingo says, you know, it's good to get the basics, but like you really have to immerse yourself in conversations to really get into it, and that one's harder. Yeah, we'll get there. And truthfully, the vast majority of why I wanted to learn Japanese was so I could understand Suisse and Rabaru. Although
I figured.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have heard Rabaru speaks a specific dialect that's harder than regular Japanese.
Kansai dialect.
I got a long way to go, but I'll do it. I'll do it for him.
You do it for him.
Absolutely.
And then you do it again.
Okay, so a more personal question. What inspired you to start creating and being creative?
The first big question, because it's really convoluted. Like, what do you mean? Like, if you can give me like an example or something.
So, how would I answer this? I think I've always been a creative person. I got in trouble with my parents and my school teachers a lot because I would like doodle on homework, or like I'd mess around with tape and make all these what I guess I thought was art at the time. But I'd eventually started on the realization I really like to write. I don't think I'm any good at writing, but like I've always had stories I wanted to tell, and I think somewhere along the line realizing that like I could make games, or I could like make books full of stories that like, you know, really pulled people in. That was an amazing feeling, and I wanted to chase that. And so a lot of my life ended up.
It was a sense of self-discovery.
Yeah, absolutely. And that ended up kind of like leading me down to the path, like my whole life path. I learned programming, I learned computer science because I wanted to make games. And then I got out and I found out the game design industry is not very healthy. But I still very much wanted to, I wanted to make.
Have you heard the incident of Cyberpunk?
Oh yeah, it is an absolute goddamn mess.
That's really cool though. I mean, I'm glad that you followed your dreams to wherever it led you, and now you have another way of expressing that creativity that is not through drawing or, you know. Yeah. And I'm I had a bit of an inspiration break yesterday, so with any luck, some of my poetry will hit both Twitter and YouTube in the next few days, so that's good. Are you making a video about it?
What I'll probably do is I'll narrate it. Ideally with rigging, but I'll try to polish that up as much as I can, because I am still worried it'll be really cringy. I see writing and streaming don't really mix, and that's just difficult. And I gotta figure out like a good
in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing though, like with VTuber as an art form is that you can be whatever you want to be. If you want to be just a book with a mouth on it, you can.
Yeah.
Like I aside from being part of Seiso Industries, I'm also part of the VTuber community. And we literally have a member she's literally a tree. She's literally just a potted tree.
I love it.
And she's like the best. She's really entertaining. Her rating little video that she plays out when she gets rated, it's literally just a Plants vs Zombies clip.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's Aspen Bucci or something like that. Her name is Aspen. Just look it up on Twitter. But yeah, it's just being a VTuber can enable you to do so many things. In my case, answering to this question, I have always been creative as well, like particularly in the drawing department. But I also have this thing of I was easily distracted by my own imagination, which is the reason why psychologists think that my mind is so powerful it can make me sick. Until, at least as far as I can remember from high school, I could literally distract myself with a pen. Because I was imagining as this character, and my friends will tell me that I was doing sushing and pow sounds, like, onomatopoeias. And they will tell me, you look like, they thought for a second that I was autistic. Because I my imagination would run so wild by just me looking at a pen and moving it around. But yeah, like, I've always been a creative in that sense. And the only problem, and something that I realize is a problem, is that my creative mood can be swung over and stumped by my emotional mood. Particularly because I am very propense to procrastinating, and
oh yeah, I know that pain.
And after a little while of procrastinating, I feel so bad that I end up not doing anything.
Yeah, and I can see the connection between that, because I think a lot of being creative is putting your emotions into the world and shaping something. I can see how it's your emotional state shapes the art that you create. And I know I've had waves of like immense motivation, and I'd write something like 4,000 words a day, and then the very next day I would just have like I just like feel dead inside. I couldn't do anything. I have an embarrassing amount of projects that I've started and I really cared about, and then I just stopped, and then the motivation never came back.
Yeah, tell me about it, because I'm the same, bitch.
I think every creative individual knows this pain, and it sucks. It sucks a ton.
If you're a creative person, regardless of if you draw your own VTuber model, if you came up with your own VTuber concept, it literally just is the fact that if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, and you shouldn't force yourself over it. Something that my very good friend here is very guilty of. Forcing himself to actually stream when he knows he shouldn't, because he's been streaming for like literally 3 days in a row.
I noticed. I'm hoping to average 5 streams a week, which is wow. That's not the healthiest thing I can do.
I mean, unless you're Rover, nobody should stream that long and that like often.
I'm still astounded that he, on the dot every morning, he does that stream, and like I could not.
Not only in the morning, he always does at least 3 to 4 streams a day. It's not even. It's not even just a thing of I'm just streaming whenever I want to. He literally just streams because he enjoys streaming like that. You can tell that this is his profession. This is something that he was born to do.
Yeah. And he fits the role so well. Again, Sasuga winning son. And it's funny that you actually mentioned the me almost working too hard. That was the kind of breakthrough I had last night of my complicated feelings around working too hard, because I'm on the one hand, yes, obviously health comes first. Take what time you need. But I'm also at least with regards to myself, I'm of the mind that like any time you take to relax is time you're not growing.
You could be using for work.
Right. And I beat myself up constantly if I don't feel productive on any given day, and it's really bad. Yeah.
You wanna know something?
Yeah.
My emotional therapist told me that that's the result of the school system.
Oh yeah, that I can see that 100%.
Because the school system and just the society system in general really punishes you for literally dedicating time to just existing. Because that's something that I've been doing recently, just reconnect with my body. And although in my case it does me bad because my anxiety spikes when my body feels something that is out of quote unquote shape, even though nothing is wrong. There'll be days where I literally just sit on my bed and be like, okay, today I'm just a bed. I am just existing. When you fade out of existence as a person and just as a soul just existing in the space, that's something that is really frowned upon by society in general, because if you're not moving, then you're not being worth of anything.
Yeah. And I'd actually talked to a friend of mine about this because they're struggling with financial stuff, and the situation was very much like they have to be doing something productive to society, or they don't get to live. Because they won't get paid, and it's a whole mess. And I mean, you can make arguments one way or the other, but that's still so unfair.
Yeah. Because even then, like, yeah, sure, you need to be productive to serve the society, but also, just because of missing a single day at work, you shouldn't be fired.
Yeah.
Because, like, my friend was telling me that, like, she was over-worrying about the fact that she literally was 5 minutes late. And she said that they told her that if she do it again, she will get an eviction notice.
Jesus. Yeah. There's definitely a propensity for making people want to be like the perfect worker, and like you said, like it kind of punishes people that aren't that, and that's not fair. But
yeah. And if you realize that people who live the healthiest, well, maybe not the healthiest, but the happiest lives, are literally people who don't work, but they just are connecting constantly with themselves, doing something, and that's why I want to be a house mom. Like that. That's what I want to be with my life. When I grow older, is just doing house chores, doing regular daily life things, because those people have no time of worrying of what they're not doing. Because like I see my mom just doing chores, speaking to my siblings, or sitting down to watch her soap opera, and it's just like, man, what life that you're living that I kind of want to live it too, like the same way that you are.
Yeah.
Because when you have a busy schedule like that, like this, and I'm gonna keep referring it to as the schedule of a mom. You have no time of sitting over and being like, man, my chest hurt for a moment. I'm now gonna have a whole mental breakdown about it. No, like, moms literally just continue to do their stuff, regardless of if their knee or their back is hurting. And that's just the kind of lifestyle I want to adopt. A life where I can just, not worry too much of what's gonna happen if I don't do this, but just do whatever you want, as having a schedule that is not completely rigid and strict, which is the reason why I don't do stream schedules, because most of the time, if I'm not feeling it, you guys are gonna notice, because I'm gonna be bored.
Yeah, and I'd have the thought of we've all kind of known that lifestyle when we were kids, and yes, you go to school, but then you just kind of do whatever the hell, and a return to that would be nice. I really miss that.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, like the life of a mom is literally just the life of a kid, but with a different perspective.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Because I hear my friends who do work, but they're also parents, and I'm like, man, it sounds so stressful, but it sounds just like the kind of life that I want. You know? You know, just wondering, I don't know, to my husband or something, like, let's put it in this situation that you're my husband, just me asking you, honey, what are we gonna have for dinner? Is there something you want? Do you want me to make you something, or should I, order takeout? So, like, I just want to be domestic, and I think that's a valid lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much as society thinks that even if you're not actually working into getting the money, you're not being a good person.
My mom is a fully fledged housewife. My dad makes enough money to support all of us. Very fortunate for that, but a lot of people still have trouble getting around that fact of, wait, your mom doesn't make any money? It's just like, no. And she might not be contributing to society at large, but she's contributing to me and my brother, and we will contribute to society. And I think people overall need to respect that.
Yeah, because in the end, people who have their mom mostly, like, and not to say that a dad cannot fulfill this role, but people who have their mom more present in their lives I find that, they're most really kind people. Some people who are, like, really good with touch, as much as you make me cry sometimes,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just, in Mexico we have a thing here, because I don't know how true it is for you, but in every single Mexican family you will find that everyone and their mother, quite literally, has a case of mamitis, which is a love and adoration for your mom. And it has various levels. For me, it's a very high level, because without my mom are like, I don't know what I will do, and I have to figure that out eventually. But yeah, just, we have really high attachment to our moms, and that is something that people really don't like. And I find that people who have really the freedom to talk to their parents, particularly their moms or their dads, mainly the moms, are less propensive having psychological issues.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotional maturity that comes from, like, just being able to talk to your parents, to your mom. Yeah. And maybe I shouldn't make any broad statements, but the reverse is probably true. Like, you hear all of these stories of people that aren't the nicest people, and then the common response is, oh, their parents probably, like, didn't raise them well.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. In closing, respect your moms. Love all moms. Love all parents. Parenting is hard, but it's so important, man.
Parenting is hard. It's so important. If your life goal, like me, is being a parent, or being somebody very domestic, don't let society get to you. You'll eventually fulfill that dream, whether you're a 30-year-old, or just a 40-year-old grandma, either or.
Absolutely.
Just go for the life that you can live, and then you can, feel the happiest with.
Awesome.
Wow, that one question really went for a while, huh?
It's I mean, this is the beauty of the spicy questions. Like, you really get to know someone. Yeah. And then to cool off with a sweet question, and we had mentioned this before, but who are your favorite VTubers?
Okay, I have a list.
I love it, dude. I've got a list too.
Okay, so unfortunately, I don't really watch a lot of the Hololive girls, because you know, this is the first time that I prefer a male personality over a female, and this is nothing to do with the girls. It's more my kind of tastes, because I like eye candy.
Fair, very fair.
And you know, my top 3 are, and they flip-flop between each other. Oh, sorry for the noise. One moment. Yeah, they flip-flop between each other, and they're like Tenma, Roveru, and Shein. Like those 3 really flip-flop for me.
I really gotta watch more Tenma. The clip of him that I treasure the most is his GTA 5 one, where he drives like a moron, but he's so concerned about the dog in the back of the van. Like he's such a cinnamon bun. I love him.
And he's not driving like a moron. He's trying to drive according to the law on a game where you're supposed to break it.
Yeah. Oh, it was just adorable, that entire stream. I love it.
Yeah, that's what made me fall in love with him. And then, you know, the fact that everybody from Holostars comments that Tenma was literally shaking when he first met them.
Oh no. I hadn't heard that.
It was said in one of Olga's streams. And just you can tell like how he's such a sweet person, like sweet on the kind of shy side. Because Robert is the sweet person, but he's the sweet kind of friend who you will get tired quickly, but eventually you will miss him when he's gone.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah. He's got big extrovert. He's got big extrovert energy, and it is astounding.
But yeah, it's your turn.
So Callie holds a special part in my heart for being the first VTuber I followed. My favorite is probably Amelia Watson. Her gremlin gamer energy resonates with me deeply. I love her humor. I love the like insanity that she pulls out, and I have a membership with her, and that she hides it really well that she's actually a sweetheart, and really only lets members see it. Aside from her, Ina also very very obviously a sweetheart, but like she's such a huge inspiration to me, because she was what made me like kind of realize like I too could be creative, and and you like really own it and be confident in that, and that's really cool. And then finally Suisei, if only because I really admire Suisei's dedication, being, you know, the an independent VTuber, taught herself everything, was her own illustrator, was her own rigger, and like pushed herself into Hololive. Like that is an amount of like dedication and power that I really respect.
I didn't know she was her own art and her own rigger.
Oh yeah, her original model. It's a little on the rougher side compared to what we have now, but like she did everything. But even back when she was focused on songs, like the mixing, the recording, everything, like that is you gotta be so incredibly strong and determined to do all of that. And I'm a very proud Hoshiomi.
Yeah. And you know, it's amazing because the thing is that she got rejected because she could do everything. And I'm like, bitch, don't you want somebody like that?
Yeah.
Like, if anything, she's auto-sufficient. She's able for her to provide content for you without having any problem, because she could do everything. She could do gaming, she could do drawing, she could do voice acting, she could do singing. So it's like, she's literally a low maintenance entertainer, and the fact that they rejected her for so long was incredible to me.
Oh yeah. but now that she's here, I treasure literally everything that she does. Especially her most recent Ring Fit adventure was her scream singing every song she could. Who does that? It's insane.
I would if I know how to sing. But you know who does it? My sister. She's probably bound to scream at some point.
I love it.
And I really apologize. My sister really does sounds like a jump scare, so I'm apologize if you get to hear it.
Oh no. Fingers crossed. Okay, on to a spicier question. What are your craziest goals, and what led you to having these goals?
My craziest goals? Well, my craziest goal, and this is something that's been true for me for a while, and even though it has kind of diminished, I kind of do want, is to stream with a friend of mine that, you know, we know each other, like we're acquaintances and stuff, but I really want to stream with Shampai at some point. I don't know if you know her.
I don't think so, no.
You know, she's a really fun person. Like, she's amazingly entertaining, and in the sense that she will make you laugh with her, regardless of everything. Because I hope she doesn't hear us, and if she does, I'm so sorry. But she is really stupid.
I love it, man.
It's the lovely kind of stupid that you would just want to be with her and stay with her. You know. And another one of my goals, and this is like by far the most one to be less accomplished, mainly at least it's not possible for me right now, is I want to become VTuber dad in the whole live industry.
Ooh, oh my, yeah, to join the ranks of like Hookie Papa, like that would be amazing.
Like Hookie Papa, or like I forgot her name. I think her name is Rio or something like that. You know, the one who got the job to be Raina's.
Pochi, yeah.
Yeah, Pochi.
Yeah, and the relationship that the illustrators have with their VTuber children it's so sweet. Like to see Pochi do collabs with them, or to see Huki constantly joke around with Kiara, like that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that makes me think like it's a really weird extended family, but like it's so wonderful, and I very much want to be a part of it.
Yeah, because like to me, my friends, people who, if I tell you that I consider you family, I'm serious. Like I am dead serious. You're my family to me. And there's not really that many people I can consider my family amongst my friends, even though I appreciate them all. And to build those kind of bonds with people, to be like such good friends with somebody who you're literally helping out their career, and they're in turn helping your career because they're literally a walking advertisement.
Oh yeah.
You know, it just sounds really fun. And you know, I just hope I get to design a whole life girl or whole stars boy, either or. See, that's my craziest wildest dream. It's the one that is least likely to happen soon rather than later. Because you know, I don't really have much of my artist career out in the open, and I need to see if I'm going to make it past this months, which I will make it out of this slump that I'm having right now.
I have faith. We all got faith in you.
I will make it out. I will survive. As I told my mom before, I will be here regardless of if God or whoever wants me out. You know, I will be here.
That's a spirit. You got to keep fighting.
Yeah, and although you know, to people who are listening to this who are struggling with anxiety, I get you. It's really hard. It's harder to think, particularly if you are the person who are concerned about dying and about your own health. It's really hard to focus on something that will make you feel better. Like, even right now, for example, I'm having fun with Monty, just, relaxing and being chill. But right now, I'm still having those back thoughts of, oh god, my fucking arm is hurting a lot. And, when my arm is hurting, I just feel like that's a sign of having a heart attack, Like, it's different things that you notice when you have an anxiety that you realize that you wouldn't have cared for before, but you care now. So please, just if you have an anxiety, first of all, it is very good if you can deal with it on your own. But I will tell you this: you can deal with your own for so long until you actually need help. And people say that, especially in Mexico and Hispanic culture in general, that a psychologist is very frowned upon. And I don't know how it is in the U.S. But please, even if you're healthy, go to a psychologist, go to therapy like once every 2 to 3 months, just to know. You can just talk to them. It's literally somebody who's trained to talk to you and will not judge you, regardless of whatever you did. Except if you murdered somebody, then maybe, I don't know, maybe talk to the police about that, but,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just get help. Mental health is good. Healthcare.
Absolutely. One, please don't murder anyone. Two, yes, it's slightly better in the United States, but it's still very much, if people think if you go to therapy, it's because you're broken and you need fixing. No, a therapist is what is to mental health as the same as a doctor is to physical health. And it's normal enough for people to do like yearly checkups with their doctor just to make sure everything's okay. And I think, yeah, we need to normalize like seeing a therapist just to get a checkup on how you really are. Someone that knows mental health better than you and can guide you through that process. Seeing a mental health specialist is not an indication that you are broken, but that you care about your mental health, and that I think everyone should.
Yeah, and also important distinction. If you have problems with anxiety, a psychologist will get you good, but you also need an emotional therapist, because the emotional therapy will crack you open. And most people say that on psychology, and when you're having particularly this really bad habits, that you should be taken with consideration and stuff. But really, unless you get somebody to actually tell you, like a emotional therapist to tell you, okay, you're feeling this, but what about this, and what about this, and this, and this, and this, and everything that's happening that's being good in your life. Because what happens to me is that I get into these fits of, I'm having like a physical pain in any way, shape, or form, or my head feels heavy, and I'm like, oh god, I feel so powerless. I feel like I'm going to die soon. Really extreme kind of thoughts. And what the emotional therapist will do is be like, okay, you're feeling like you're dying. Why is that? You tell them this and this and that, and then the emotional therapist will go, well, does that make sense? Are you listening to yourself? And psychologists are people who listen to you. Emotional mental health therapists will be people who will talk to you back, and you both go hand in hand. You need to talk to both, preferably if the same person is both a psychologist and a mental therapist, the better. But yeah, just go to checkup just to make sure that everything is fine at home, and you will be happier knowing the coping techniques that you will know from therapy earlier in your life. Because most of most of the people who go to therapy go when it's already too late, and when you have to work on rebuilding yourself instead of preventing yourself from breaking.
And that's a very important distinction. It's never too early to start caring about your mental health.
Yeah, it's never too early to just care about your body in general. I was talking to Monty earlier when we had that conversation about beverages. When you actually take care of your body as how it's meant to be, you won't realize that your basic needs, literally going to the bathroom, will happen without you noticing. Because it is very, at least for me, it was very common to go to the bathroom 3 times a day to, discharge and do whatever I needed. And, recently I only go once a day, which is still within the normal. And when I go, I barely even feel anything. I'm like, wait, I'm done? Because, you're not supposed to spend that long in the bathroom. So yeah, just when you realize that you're taking very care of your body, it will show. You will feel weird because it's not your normal. And let me tell you this: you will feel weird because it's not your normal to not be worrying. It's not your normal to not be, to either not being sleeping that much or sleeping too much. It's not your normal. And you will feel a bit weird about it for a while, but then you realize that this is what normal is, and that you should get into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, well, I think we should switch question because we're a little bit getting into more like personal territory. That well, I don't mind getting it out. At the same time, people knowing how I poop is a little bit.
share only what's you're comfortable with, of course. And yes, indeed, with a break to a sweet question. Would you like to live in the woods someday?
No.
Yeah, no.
I know I proposed that question myself, but no. Like, I mean, in a sense, I think the question should be branched to living in the woods. Will it be with me and other people around me, like other people living in the woods, or just me in the woods? Because if it's just me in the woods, I won't. Yeah, sure, I'd be in touch with nature, but at the same time, I would miss people. So.
Agreed. Yeah, I think then in taking both of those situations, if it was just me, fuck no, I would go insane immediately. If it was me and like a small group of friends I was really close with, I would. No, I think I'm too shallow for that. I'd miss like the conveniences of being near the city. I'd miss good internet, all that stuff. I'm very much a city boy.
I mean, I grew up in the city as well. I would be the same. But I have a question, like branching out of it. Like, would you live more like not necessarily on the woods, but like on the countryside, where it's like the good in between of living in complete touch with nature and living in a city?
I think still probably no. I think I'm, and maybe this is just because it's all I've known for my life, but I'm very much a town kind of person where like where I am now, if I want to go into the big city, that's only like a 10-20 minute drive. But it also means I don't have to deal with big city life. And I think just being around people and the conveniences of being near that city life, that's something I'm too used to. I don't know if I could give that up.
I mean, me neither, honestly. Like, it just, when you realize that you have a comfort life, it's kind of difficult to get out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, particularly when topics that come with moving out and stuff. Like, a lot of people told me that I shouldn't stay with my mom that long because because it generates dependence and it's frowned upon and whatnot. But you don't have a limit for how much you can stay with your parents as long as you're contributing to the house. Yeah,
absolutely. And then yes, this comes at a bit of a culture shock for me because where I am in America, A lot of people they have that same mentality, and that doesn't really mesh with how Asian American culture works. Because in Asian American culture, or I guess just Asian culture overall, it is expected that you're gonna be living with your parents forever and support them in turn. I don't plan on doing that forever, but like there was never any pressure for me to leave. Like I'm still with my parents and still with my brother. And some of my some of my white friends were like, how like isn't that weird? And I was like, no, that's just like how it has always been. And honestly, in this day and age with this American housing market is kind of fucky. I'm not in a rush to go out there on my own, and I feel like I should. I do want to live either in my own apartment or dorm with someone close to me, but I am hesitant for big life changes.
Well, and that's a thing. That's something. I mean, I guess this is Asian too. I guess because my grandma was Asian. Well, is Asian. Was because she's dead, but anyway. And it's just I don't think that people should have the pressure of going out into the world when they don't want to. Like, you're. I don't know. I have kind of the mentality, and maybe it's because it's like the same with Asian mentality. It's just if you can stay with your mom, stay with her until the day she's not able to take care of herself. And in my case, it's more of a thing of I want to return everything she's given me by taking care of her the same way she took care of me while growing up.
Yeah, that's a very noble way of living.
So yeah, we laugh about it a lot. Like particularly recently when I'm like, she's telling me, "Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bore you and I'm gonna like get on your nerves and stuff." Because she explains that being a really old human is like you return back to being a child. You have your necessities that you cannot do on your own, or this weird fits and that you want to do something and you really want to do it, and because you're old you can. So it's like she was joking of the sense of and she wanted that I was gonna send her to like old house, like
yeah, like a retirement house. That's
and I just told her, no, that's never gonna happen, because you never sent me to a fucking child orphanage because of being moody and petty. So
fair. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In short, everyone love your moms. Love your moms.
I will say though that I do want at least at some point to live like a few years on the United States or Canada. Because I did tell my mom that after she is, after she passes away and I'm, the only one here because I'm the only one who has plans on staying home, I will probably go out into the world and, just, move to Canada for a few years, and then when I actually have children, come back here.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Once you've, that's the part of your life when you'd want to come and find yourself. And yes, very much go to Canada, not America. Things are fucking America and will be for a little bit.
I mean, I am not really allowed to go to America even though I'm supposed to, so Mexican.
Fuck you, America. God damn it. And with that hot take, we'll move on to a spicy question. What is the most awkward romantic encounter you've had?
Oh boy. Okay, you answered this.
Oh, light. Okay.
I'm interested.
Okay, so I should point out. Oh fuck me, man. Okay, so I've had a few romantic encounters. I should point out I've been single all my life. I'd mentioned this to you privately. Growing up until quite recently, I was an asshole. Just truly a not good person. I was the kind of person who was like, oh, you know, why am I not getting a date? Well, it was because I lacked the self-realization of, oh, it's because I'm an asshole. But yeah, I've had romantic encounters, sure enough, and as I'm thinking, oh, which one was the most awkward? I can immediately think of one right off the bat. I'm a friend of mine in college. Blood and Ashes. There's the smallest chance he might be listening. A friend of mine in college. I had a crush on her. She didn't have a crush on me. But I kept trying. Which, by the way, if anyone out there, if they're not interested, they're not interested. Just fucking back off. I took a long time to learn this. We were out at a restaurant with friends. So four of us at a table. It was one of those booths. So like it was like almost cushions, and me and this friend that I had a crush on were sitting next to each other. And
kind of like Cheesecake Factory style, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she was reaching for her phone or something, and that was on her butt pocket, and it was close, just the way we were sitting. That was close enough to my butt. So I still don't fucking know what I was thinking. God, I don't want to say this. God damn it, man. So as she so luckily it wasn't any shitty. Well, it was kind of shitty. But as she reached for her butt pocket, I like kind of recoiled and was like, oh, what do you think you're doing? Like implying that she was reaching for my butt. And I must have thought it was like some stupid joke, but fucking no one laughed. All three people looked at me. It was like, Monty, what the fuck? And she even like gracefully was like, not even in your dreams. And that just fucking killed me. And we were still hanging out for like a few more hours. So it was just like, oh my fuck, I wanna disappear now.
Not only did she turn you down, she destroyed you.
She destroyed me in front of some more mutual friends, and then we had to keep hanging out. I was like, oh my fucking god, like ugh. And like this was 100% my fault, just pure unadulterated cringe.
Okay, whoever was the woman who did this to Monty, please text me. I wanna get to know you because you sound like you're very fun.
She's badass, honestly. Like I've stopped being an ass, and I've stopped realizing, okay, like it's not gonna happen. But I'm still in touch with her because yes, she's a badass. She doesn't take shit from anyone. Ray's in chat saying next level spice. This may have been the spiciest question I have so far.
I mean, so far.
So far. We do have your answer to this spicy question. Would you like to give us a tale?
Okay. And the preface is that I'm still friends with this person, by the way.
Oh boy.
When I was in middle school, what was my me wanting to be like a house mom kicked in, and I wanted to do like this really cute present for my friend, who at the time I had a crush on. So I talked to my friends, who are the ladies, and they come and teach me how to cook, how to make a chocolate. Case in point, I didn't do it myself. They did it all their own because I am a dumbass in the kitchen, and they teach me all of it. They help me package it and stuff. And at the time I used to draw for everything. I still do, but at the time I was more often. And I drew myself holding a heart, well, like in a card and stuff. And the thing is, I didn't even look alike the thing that I drew.
Oh no.
So what happens is that my friend obviously knows that I feel like that, and he's been telling me no for a while, but I still insisted. And when I finally give him the chocolate, he goes, well, first of all, are you sure this is you? Second, the answer is still a no. And third, I take the chocolate. And the motherfucker ate the chocolate in front of me.
That's stone cold.
He's a bitch, but I love him. Like, after that, that was back then when he thought he was straight. But you know, eventually, he realized he was gay, and I was like, well, do you think? No.
Shot down. Damn.
And still to this day, he says no, even though I'm joking. I'm like, bitch, let me have a win.
I love it. Damn. All right. So if this is an indication for anyone that has not yet learned this lesson the hard way like we did, no means no. just drop it.
No means no, and I know that this fairy tales, you know, your parents may tell you that you need to be consistent. If you're gonna be either be embarrassed of yourself for being stupid, or your crush is gonna embarrass you because you're stupid. So you know,
save yourself. Don't do
just save yourself the pain. There is a lot of people in the water. And you know what? This is something that I do believe in. If it's fated to be, it will happen again.
Yeah, very, very much so. Speaking of fates and stories, onto a sweeter question. Nope, hold up. Why is that? Huh. Sorry,
Scuffed again.
A little bit of scuff. It seems the questions I had queued up were out of order. What story, game, movie, book, whatever, do you treasure the most?
This is really hard because it's between Sakura Masaoki and Violet Evergarden. But I will say, Violet Evergarden was literally on a spring when I didn't have a computer. And so I just watched it and binged it on Netflix. And I've been meaning to for a while. Like, you know, I'm saying that I finished Violet Evergarden last year. I've been meaning to watch it for a while. And it's just such a beautiful story, and the beautiful side stories, particularly there's this one, and I know I go back to mom, but you know, there was this one of a mom who was like
chronically. Wait, I should know. I've not watched Violet Evergarden. I've heard amazing things, but please no spoilers. I want to watch this too.
Just a little overview of the chapter because you're gonna forget about it.
I wouldn't bank on that. I've spoiled a lot of weird stuff in my past. Go, man.
Well, the point is, it's about a mom, and she's terminally ill. You know how it ends.
Yeah.
And she has a daughter, and there's writing cards on it.
Oh no.
You'll figure once you watch it. And actually, I think Violet Evergarden will be your kind of story because it's all about writing and the meaning of writing.
Yeah. Okay. I really have heard like it is an absurdly beautiful story, and everyone that I've heard watched it like just came out in tears. I need to hurry the hell up and watch it.
You know what? Everybody who's listening to this stream and actually cares, please, I don't know, just 5 likes, and we'll watch Violet Evergarden together, and we'll record it, and I don't know, maybe make a supercut out of it.
Absolutely, yes. Give me those likes. I'll do it. I'll have to do it. I gotta figure out like a good scheduling for all of this and some absolutely legal places to get it. But I will absolutely watch Violet Evergarden. Yeah, and as for my own stories, I'm this is split. So my favorite book series is The Wheel of Time. And
I don't think I've ever heard it before.
It's an extremely long fantasy, high fantasy book series by Robert Jordan. And like we're talking 14 books. much longer than Game of Thrones, and it's getting its own TV show sometime next year, and I hope that doesn't bomb. I can only describe it as a epic odyssey of fate and politics, and how all of that ties together when the end of the world is approaching, and so much of the plot is convincing people of different political and cultural backgrounds to fucking put their shit aside. Like, hey, the world's gonna end. We kind of need you on our side, and to ignore all of the bullshit. And it does a good job of seeding in that I hesitate to say politics, because when you hear politics in a story, you always assume it's, it's gonna be boring and shitty. But it's the same politics that Game of Thrones had, where like, no, it was bloody, it was dramatic and over the top, and shit happened. And I love that book series so much. It's there have been people that are like they read it when they were kids, and it finished when they were parents. The whole book series took like 30 years to write, and the author died in the middle of it, and they had to get a different author to finish it. It was
see, that's why I keep telling you to write your stories early.
Oh yeah, yeah, please.
I don't want to have to contract somebody to end your story. So please end it yourself before you get ended.
Absolutely. I'm still scared that George R.R. Martin will die before he finishes his book. Like he keeps saying Winds of Winter is right around the corner. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Well, do you mind if we take a little bit of short break? I am noticing that my meds are overdue and I haven't taken them, so I'll be back.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know, entertain China. You can continue talking about the story if you want. I'll be back.
Absolutely. We'll just go ahead and throw out the chest Monty, but oh no, that kind of needs to go up in front. But let's do that. Yeah. Okay. But yes. Stories are great, man. I'd mentioned this earlier in the interview, but like there really is something awesome about being able to craft your own stories and have it be something that people care about. I really think everyone is capable of having an amazing story that they want to share. It's just that they might not have the platform to share it with. I found myself playing lots of Dungeons and Dragons with friends, if only because that is a shared story creating experience that you don't really see anywhere else. And anyone interested in something like that, yeah, absolutely, give it a shot. I think there is an artist in all of us, and a story takes so many different forms, even just conventional art or sculpting, like that's it all invokes a story. I think it's cool. That's all from my soapbox, but yes, anyone can be creative, so as long as you believe in yourself and put in the effort. And now all I have to do is actually put in my effort. Sakura's mentioned this. Let me drink some water as well. Sakura mentioned this as well. Back when we were talking about being creative, but wanting to procrastinate is a boon on creative people everywhere, and for me, that's really something that's been killing me. I'm of the mind that you have to put in the effort proportional to how much you want the goal. And I didn't get to mention it in this interview. I had mentioned it in my previous one. I very much want to I want to get a book published. I think that would be awesome. I want to be part of Holostars Yin, and these are the sort of goals that I want to dedicate my life to. So I kind of need to put lots of effort into it, and I have not been doing that. And I know many people like that. Like you ask anyone in the VTuber scene, or really any creative content scene, creator scene, there are an untold amount of people that really want to get big, and the sad thing is a lot of them will feel like it's not something worth putting all of their effort into. And maybe this is me back on my soapbox, but yeah, if you really believe in your dream, go chase it with all of the effort you can muster. Always don't burn yourself out. I want to release something, a project I've been working on for a little bit, but there's a dangerous line to be walked in needing to give your all towards a goal, but like if you do too much of that, you risk burning out, and you risk that goal like just being a source of stress for you. And I think that's really sad if you get turned away from your goal because of it. Yeah, and I see a lot of this is quite the rant, and I'm not quite sure where this is going. I think I'm just talking at this point, but this is good. I see a lot of VTubers very open about their emotions, and I really commend that. I think being honest with yourself, being honest with your friends and your audience is something everyone should strive for. But they'll really burn out on all of the good they're doing, both good in terms of helping people, but also like good in terms of being protective towards their dreams. There was this one VTuber. I'm not really sure if I should put their name on blast right now, so I won't. But they're an extremely positive person, and they put so much love and effort into the content they create, and you can really tell it's grinding them down. And they had spoken on it, on how, you know, like they're gonna keep trying their hardest, but it's been tough. It really it pulls on your mental energy, and if you don't have enough time to recover, then you'll hit a deficit, and that's really tough to recover from. And I wish them the best, absolutely, but that sort of stuff is so sad to see. And part of that is the being a content creator. You got to find that balance, and being a VTuber is like the VTuber scene is certainly not the first time this issue has come up. You know, like people have been creators for a while. Hey, I was just ranting on a healthy like balance between working towards your dreams and while also not burning out. Something I'm definitely struggling with recently.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though, when it comes to work. Like, when it comes to work and everything, you also have to realize that when you tell people, you know, in this come online with the VTuber scene, and I don't know if it does for an actual daytime job, but in my case, like for school, for example, when you tell people that you need a break for your mental health, you will probably get it.
Yeah, but there's a fine line in that. Too much of a good thing can be bad. And maybe this is the wrong mindset to have, but it's a mindset that I've come up with where if at least with regards to me and my VTubing dreams, like I want to dedicate my life to that, and at some point I need to keep that momentum going. And I think a lot of people feel that same way of, like I should take a break, but the idea that it's terrifying. And I know Sakura Miko of Hololive had struggled with that in the later half of last year. She just was entirely burnt out and needed to take a few months off. And the entire time she was utterly terrified that people would forget her. And it all worked out in the end, but I think it was that I don't want to say she was lucky, but she had worked for such a rabid fan base that truly cared for her, and if you don't have that fan base, then too long of a break can really stall you, and that's what scares me.
Listen, the thing about that is that, and I'm sorry to kind of burst everyone's bubble, including you and mine.
Oh yeah, hit me with the hard stuff.
VTubing and streaming needs to be a hobby. It cannot be your work.
Oh, absolutely.
Mainly because it's not sustainable. At some point, you're gonna fall off the line, and in the end, unless you are, I don't know, Pokemon or someone, you will not get enough money to live out of streaming. And this is the hard fact. And I'm telling you this as somebody who has wanted to stream ever since streaming became a thing. You will unfortunately not get as good of a chance of actually making this your job, which is why it should be your hobby. Because, and for two things, is one, you will never get illusions with the idea of actually working as a VTuber and a streamer forever, because you're not gonna stream, you're not gonna be streaming where you're 60, dude. When you're 60, you're probably gonna want a break from everything and everyone, and if you are like that grandma who plays Call of Duty on YouTube, like good for you, but if you don't take this as a hobby, it's gonna hit the hardest that maybe you're not gonna make it, or well, if you do make it, you do have to realize that you cannot drop everything for being a streamer. Because in the end, and unfortunately this is the truth, our platforms are gonna disappear someday.
True. Oh yeah, true. Very true. This is an extremely temporary thing.
And the second reason why you should not take this as an actual daytime job and just as a hobby, it's because if you take it as a hobby, you will never be worried about the view count. You will never be worried about how many people are watching you. You will always be grateful to the same people who watch you, and when there's a new one, you will be excited. So that don't let it become your job, because eventually, and this is something that my mom says and that everybody who I know says, choose the career that you really like, so that you don't have to work.
Absolutely.
So choose this as something you really like, so that you don't take it as a work. Because in the end, you're not gonna enjoy it on the long run.
And we actually have a spicy question, much in that same vein. Let me go ahead and skip ahead a few. Here we go. What would you do if being a VTuber didn't work out?
I mean, I'm still. I don't know if being a VTuber is working out for me. But I'm still continuing with my life plan of being a house mom, and I am studying graphic design, and I know my little thumbnails I make for my stream sometimes are not showing that I'm actually that I'm actually a graphic design student. But you know, it's just have a plan. And my advices and my answer to this question is, I had a plan before getting into VTubing, and I will not abandon it, even if VTubing doesn't, even if being a VTuber does work out. Because I'm sure you're pretty much in the same vein because you had a job before this, so.
Yeah, very much so. I have a complicated relationship with my job and VTubing in that I am a good programmer, but do I like programming? That one's harder. And I have many ex-coworkers and programmer friends, and they get really excited about programming tech, and I don't. And that was kind of what led me to want to be a VTuber. Like, yes, I have programming in my life, but that's not the thing that is work. That's not what I like out of life. And what I wanted was to be creative. If being a VTuber didn't work out and I needed to retire as Monty permanently, I'd be really sad. But yeah, like you said, I have that plan to go forward. I have other things in my life. I very much still want to write, and even if that doesn't get off the ground, like just writing for myself, like I would be more than self-sustaining with that, and then programming as an actual job. Yeah, it sting, and I think I'm bracing myself because not only this is a very temporary thing, but I have to admit, like I'm not getting quite the growth I wanted. Some of that can be, I have some plans in the immediate future to help that, but like, yeah, this is a dream. This is my one attempt at chasing it. But if I don't reach that dream, then okay, well, I have so many other creative outlets.
And what are one of your secondary paths as somebody, if VTuber doesn't work out and you don't want to go back to being a programmer, what is your option?
Ooh, I think programming will probably always be in my life. I'm good at it, and it is work, but like I don't hate the act of programming.
You just hated your workplace, to be honest. You just hated your workplace.
Absolutely. Fuck my workplace. The people I worked with were amazing, but I mean, after I left my job, I took like 10 days off of streaming because I just needed to recover. You should never be in a workplace where you have to mentally recover when you're free. That's a toxic, shitty place.
Yeah. Dude, and prior to him quitting his job, I was literally like a full week being like, please quit your job. Please quit your job.
You and every one of my friends was like, you need to get the hell out of there, Monty. And I eventually did, and I'm really glad I did. And right now I'm not looking for another job. I kind of just want to relax and take life slowly. But soon enough, yeah, I'll go into another programming job, and VTubing will be my side thing. And if that falls away, I'll find another side thing. I'll be sad about it.
Yeah, I mean, as many psychology people say, find a hobby.
Oh yeah.
Finding a hobby can make things so much easier to deal with. Mainly because having a hobby doesn't mean something that you do every single day without fail, or that you do, when you feel stressed out. Well, although that's really good. A hobby is just something that you do occasionally when you remember it. And, it's important to have one. And on this day and age, since gaming is an entertainment and drawing is also a form of income, it cannot really be any of those two things. Even if you tell to somebody, oh, my my hobby is gaming, it's not really a hobby anymore, because it's something that you will do when you get back to school from work or whatever to distract yourself. And so it's no longer a hobby. A hobby will be like, I don't know, I'm like, well, I don't really want to game right now, but I also don't want to work. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start sewing something.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it is important to have multiple hobbies. You gotta just have the one, because like I said, because gaming is now such a popular thing, and it's also something that can stress you out. It can no longer be a hobby, particularly if you do it often.
Yeah, and variety is the spice of life.
So yeah, that's why I'm gonna take some sewing classes for my plan.
Nice. Yeah, and I have a few other creative things. I'm trying to learn electric keyboard, and I'm trying to get good enough that I can put videos up on that, because I want as much content as I can. But
he wants to be the Lily Pichu of VTubing.
Absolutely, dude. That would be amazing.
Although technically, Lily is already a VTuber, but
And speaking of games and stress, what game have you sunk the most hours into?
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh yeah.
No question. Actually, let me check.
I think so. While you check, mine is probably Dota 2. I have somewhere around 2K hours, which for a great many people, it's like, oh, 2,000 hours is real slow. Like those are baby numbers. You got to get them up. I have a complicated relationship with Dota, as any MOBA player well knows. I love it. I fucking hate playing it. I just like watching it almost.
I mean, I will say that I'm also guilty of the same, particularly with League of another MOBA, League of Legends. Actually, I think it will be between those two, because those are the biggest games that I've been playing in my game. But I honestly don't know how much I have been playing League, because listen, I've been playing League since I was 10, and it's been 10 years.
Jeez.
And so it's probably more time than 14, but right now 14 stands at 188 days with 17 hours and 16 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
I've been playing this game for almost 2 years, so.
Damn. That is insane. But yeah, to the League, having played League for half your life, League, Dota, just every MOBA out there is a drug. Don't do it, kids. Don't let it get its claws into you. I know Ray's here in chat, and Ray plays League as well. He well knows how bad League is.
Listen, if you're gonna play League, like, children, listen up. If you're gonna play League or any MOBA that you really want to get into, make sure that you don't have anger issues first.
Oh, yeah.
Because I used to have really heavy anger issues when it came to League of Legends. So much so that I really abused the hell out of my laptop.
Oh no.
I used to hit it near the hard drive when I got mad.
That's not what you want to do.
Yeah, so like, please make sure that you got some outlets of anger. I don't do that anymore. The most that I would do is grab a pillow and squish it.
Ooh.
But
I like it.
What about you? Do you have anger issues with mobile games?
So I found myself, I get really angry quickly, but I vent that anger, assuming I'm allowed to vent that anger quickly. It usually works out. With MOBAs, a lot of my anger will, like, I'll try to rationalize it with, okay, well, like, fucking, I don't know, if someone is like, I usually don't get mad if someone is just bad, especially if like if I called them out and if they apologize, then it's like, okay, well now I can't be mad at you. Like you're not an asshole. You're just bad at the game. Which like fucking okay. Fact of the matter is, some people are bad at the game. All right, sure. I'm not gonna get mad at that. But if someone's a goddamn asshole, then I won't. I try my goddamn best to not be abusive. So I won't like say anything on voice chat. What I'll probably do is call them an asshole and like point out all of their fuck ups and then mute them so they don't get the satisfaction of any further responses.
Calling you
like,
back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If they want to embarrass themselves, go ahead. I'm muting you.
I am so glad that fucking League of Legends doesn't have the function of people actually talking into your ear like like CS:GO or League of Legends or fucking Overwatch.
And Ray's here saying, I once broke the hard drive of my computer after punching it too hard. Had a low rage moment after getting one shot by support Lux. Oh, that, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Same. I managed to. So my computer, my laptop was a Lenovo.
Mm-hmm.
A Lenovo? I don't remember. Like, no, a Toshiba computer. And you know, Toshiba computers are really good. They're made to last. And I broke it almost completely to oblivion in literally a year of having it because of my anger issues.
Damn.
So yeah, they are built to last, but if you abuse them, they won't. So.
You love to hear it.
Are we on a spicy or a sweet question?
It's hard to tell. So this was a sweet question, but given that we talked about MOBAs, it was no longer sweet. But for an actual spicy question, if you were to date a VTuber, who would you date and why?
You.
Gasp. I still truly don't think I'm good dating material for anyone. I mean,
I will tell you this, and this is coming from the best place that I can make of my heart. The problem with me dating you is that you kinda and I mean this with the best way possible. You do have a tendency to flare up my anxiety.
I'm really bad with that.
Comments. And it's not that it's a bad thing and that I cannot relate with you and stuff. Like for example, and I don't like, you know, I was being happy for something and you literally thought that I was saying goodbye, and I'm like, bitch. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm very guilty of this. I'm not the best with words. Again, I don't think I'm good dating material.
Yeah, but you know, if for some reason it wasn't you, and I'm sure it will, because you fucking shut me down even before I tried or even thought about it.
Go, man.
If that is not the option, I would probably try and date Pyro Primo.
Oh, I don't actually know who that is, or at least I'm not recognizing that name, which I'm really bad with names. Sorry.
Yeah, but I just find that he's a really sweet guy with lots of energy. Like he will balance me out pretty well, and I don't know. I have to get to know him better, but in a sense, if we're taking this as a dating application, somebody who can fill in your needs and stuff, it could be him, or literally just anybody who can handle me having mental breakdowns over something really small. Like not sleeping enough.
And
because
Ray's hitting right to my soul. Writers are often bad speakers. That's why they write. That you aren't allowed to murder me in broad daylight like that, Ray. But no, yeah, that's very true. I have big flares of like social anxiety. Actually, so that's a lot of why I wanted to be a VTuber. I have real bad social anxiety. Typing is easy because you can type out you can plan what you're gonna say, but in a call or something, you just gotta hope you don't fuck up. and I fuck up frequently.
Because I was telling him of my homeopathic medication and shit, and he goes like, maybe you should see an actual doctor, and I'm like,
like I said, fuck
did.
ups.
I mean, I did see another doctor again, and I told you about it earlier. But it's kind of up in the air. Whatever I have is what I have still, and due to money inconveniences, aside from my psychologist recommended not to, I will not do those tests yet. But yeah, please, if you wanna support my medical bills, please commission me. I beg of you. I'll take anything over $10.
Yes, and please do check out Sakura's art. Like he's a really good artist. And I think his commission prices are super fair. He'll do it. A friend of mine was considering doing some not live 2D, but she wanted illustrations for her own VTuber thing, and she said she was gonna reach out to you. We'll see if that happens.
Haven't gotten any messages, so we should.
Well, I'm gonna pressure him for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's fine. And anyway, let's get away from the promotional material before
Yes. We're sponsored by Sakura, I guess. Sakura, you may.
I mean, technically, you sponsor me because you. I was supposed to be doing your commission today, but then I felt like shit. So.
No. Fair. Oh, and so my response to who I would date, is less personal, I guess. Now I'm cringing. Oh.
I'm listening.
Amelia. While I really do like her personality and her humor, there was a period where like the parasocial relationship thing like got bad, and I think I had a crush on her. And I think I still do. Fuck, I don't know. But yeah, if I were to date a VTuber, it would probably be her. I understand that is not a thing that can happen. I suspect Hololive doesn't allow for relationships, but a man can dream.
I mean, Amelia, as you hear, please contact Monty.
Dude, if she's actually listening to this, why are you listening to such a small VTuber? There are better people out there.
Well, yeah, that one, and please just give the guy a chance.
Blood
He's
and
really
ashes.
nice.
Good lord. But yes. Yes, it would be Ami. And
do you have a second option?
Not off the top of my head. And I think if I don't feel strongly enough about anyone else, I there's probably not a second option.
Okay, see guys, he shut me down again.
So I'm sorry. I'm straight as an arrow. Unfortunately, I'm very cishet.
You say that, but you have a little bent toe, so.
Well.
Listen, you said it yourself, not me.
Fair. I mean, let's be real. There's a lot of hot guys out there. Tom Ellis, Jason Momoa. Goddamn.
I'm not really a fan of Jason Momoa, but whatever.
Different strokes for different folks. And speaking of guys that look good.
So what happened left?
Second? Oh, we only have two.
Okay.
Speaking of guys that look good, what inspired your outfit?
You go first.
I'd always been a fan of the like clean cut look. I think I'd been inspired by like kind of bartender or bartender attire. And as for the what my face looks like, it's effectively just me. Like this is just my glasses, my hairstyle. Not green.
I've never seen a picture of him. I haven't doxed him yet, so.
Yes, I'm being careful with what I review.
Worst part about it is that I show you a picture of me.
Well, that's not a two-way street sort of deal. But yeah. I'd come up with my reference sheet, and then I took one look at it and realized, oh my god, I just made Roboru except green with wings. And I was really worried about the comparison, but as my illustrator worked on it, it was like, no, yeah, like this looks great and doesn't look like I'm blatantly stealing Roboru's look.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, to me, you read a little bit more librarian than bartender.
Yeah, and I was very much hoping for that. Yeah.
Maybe it's the giant book that you have on your chest. Yeah. You know.
that would do it.
You know, I'm a big fan of your design in the sense that it feels different in between what it's known. The only fan thing that I'm not really a fan of is, and you will have to forgive me for this, and whoever drew your art and make your concept, I am not a fan of the colors.
Ooh, how so?
I am not a fan of the colors that you have in your outfit. Like, you have seen my designs and stuff. I'm a very colorful person, and to me, brown just seems boring. But you know.
Yeah,
but
and
and it's particularly because you don't have a spark of color in your hairstyle, and the spark of color is in your hair. But you know, it's fair because on your hairstyle, but I'm stupid. On your outfit, but the spark of color is in your hair. So like, and it does make sense because you usually are gonna be zoomed in. But to me, at least, if it's not the hair color, there needs to be like a color that defines the character for me as a character designer myself. I do.
Yeah, and I think the wings help a little bit with that, but as a PNG tuber, I mostly have to hide the wings all the time. Let me actually, I believe this is, let me move this out here a little bit. You can see I've edited away the top wings, but yeah, looking at Monty overall, you can see some of that green card to come out. Yeah, but I'd come up with my design, and then yeah, I had much the same almost concerns of like, did I make my design almost too boring? Not boring, but like there's not a lot of pop when as a VTuber you can have a lot of pop. You can go really crazy, and I didn't. But hey, that, I mean, a redesign or second outfit might be in the works. This goes big enough.
I mean, you know, is okay. Like, this is like moving away. Speaking of your outfit and going to my own stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Particularly my outfit is basic in between. Is basic for what it is, honestly. Like, the thing is that I'm really just going to crop top with shorts. You know, I don't know if you have my full model in display or something.
I think I can. Hold up. That is locked. Let's pull you out.
Free. But yeah, you know, my whole design thing is inspired by a previous Persona design of mine. Because, you know, Sakura has been a thing that I've been doing since 2018 as a jackalope thing. So like, that's the thing though. I've always drawn myself from a jackalope when I finally decided that I was gonna draw myself at some point. And you know, that's where me having antlers and bunny ears and a deer tail came from. But the outfit design itself, it's pretty much a copy of my original design, and I say pretty much with very strong, you know, quotation marks. Because what inspired my current design is just me not being feminine enough. You know,
fair.
You know from talking to me and you know, from being my personal friend, that I'm a feminine as fuck person. I am very feminine, and you know, I just realized that my older design was just constricting me too much on that regard. Like, it was not making me happy. So I turned it into overdrive, and you know, the only reason why I decided that I didn't want to wear a skirt is because, you know, I still want to be recognized as a male.
I wonder if there would have been other ways around it, because there are definitely feminine cross-dressing males. Oh yeah, I admit I'm not quite versed in this, so I don't know if there is if it is hard for feminine cross-dressing males to present as male, or if you know there is that confusion.
The thing is that in my case, I made my body to have a male build. Because you will clearly see this from the corner of your screen, and you will notice that that's a man, right? And that's how I wanted to make the contrast. But I met a lot of other feminine VTubers, male VTubers, and I mean this in the best way possible, because the personal trope I do not like is a female with a penis. And it can get confusing with a trans person, and please I do not mean it that way. It's more of a thing of, I do not like traps in Shota games or anything like that. I do not enjoy it that much, which is the reason why I decided to be a male presenting crossdresser. Because more often than not, and the word trap, which is a very bad word, I just didn't say it, and I apologize I did. The problem with that is that at this point it's so used in a sense of calling a trans person, and there is a important note to say that a trans person is not a crossdresser, and a crossdresser is not a trans person. And so with me, I wanted it to be very obvious, because throughout my life, although I had a friend who was a fake supporter of the LGBTQ community, for the longest time, because I like pink and I like dress and I like bows, she tried so hard to help me transition.
Oh, and I very much heard of this toxic mentality of latching on to the idea that someone, like almost projecting onto, like, hey, you're actually an egg, you're trans, and yeah, that's not a decision you can make for someone else.
Yeah, like, I appreciate it, but no, I like my penis. Thank you. And I know I get confused by an old lady all the time, because when I go out and people, and I have my hair long, people will tell me, excuse me, miss, and I'm like, what? But it's just I just wanted it to be clear that I was a male, even though I'm wearing female presenting clothing. That's the whole point I'm trying to get at.
And I think that's fair. Let's turn you back to here. This might not be exactly what you were before. Go on. And then our final question for the interview.
Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Since I gave you feedback on your design, you're also allowed to give me feedback on like what do you dislike?
I genuinely think I'm not good enough of an artist to have a good eye on this.
I don't care.
Good. All right. Now we gotta bring you back up. So let's see. Zoom in on you. The one thing that jumps, and this may be like almost a cop out with how minor it is, but there's the smallest splash of blue only on your hips, and like you had mentioned, for the most part we're gonna be focused on your face. That splash of blue won't ever be seen, and I think that's a really nice contrast with the rest of the pink. It's a good complementary color that is it's a detail that won't be seen for the most part, and indeed the way I had this cropped, no one could know it was there until I had shown. Yeah, exactly. And maybe maybe too small of a criticism, but still one. Again, I don't think
it is fair, because you see, my original persona, when I first designed myself, had blue eyes. But I didn't want it to be too disconnected of myself as a real person. Because originally this was a persona representation of me, not a VTuber model. So it wasn't designed with that intent in mind. But I did try my best to include blue wherever I could. Actually, the thing is, and this is so counterproductive that I did it, but let me show you. I don't know if you have seen my reference sheet. You probably have because I share it everywhere, but let me find it. And I don't know if you want to put it up on stream or something.
Yep, I can. Well, if you're okay with it.
I'm fine with it, no problem. So like,
go man.
Sorry. So like, as you can see, this is my concept art thing, and there's a blue thing on my hair, on my head, but unfortunately you cannot see it because it's front view.
Oh yeah, it's in the back.
I have a little bow on my hair. And that's really how cute. I include it. Because the concept art, the original concept art for me as this design character is it's my it's the one doing the cute pose and stuff with the thing on the mouth. So like I was like, oh, I'm so happy, like this looks so good, it's a really good character design, and then I realized, wait, people are going to see me from the front. That bow, no matter how much time I spend designing it, is not gonna be seen.
Well, that's unfortunate. Oof.
At least I got a little bit of blue on my neck. My Joker.
True. Alright, let's move you back. And then our final question, a spicy one. And perhaps a hard-hitting one. If you had a conversation with yourself from 10 years ago, how do you think that would go? Would past you be proud?
I will say that my past me will not be proud. In the sense that past me will have never wanted this month to happen. And you know what I mean because you've been there. Past me will have been very disappointed that I've been so low in the dark, and I've never had thoughts of killing myself or anything because I'm not that kind of person. I'm actually very scared of death. But me, 11-year-old me, will have never thought that I'd be so afraid of being unhealthy to this point. Out of all other things that I've done, maybe. Back when I was 11, I didn't know what I wanted to be, and I didn't even know I was gay, so I don't know. But I just hope that past me can forgive me for forgetting about what normality is and what feeling good it feels like. But it's a process, and unfortunately, unfortunately, everybody's gonna have this kind of phase of feeling bad for a very long while.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be really tough to get out of it, but at least be happy that it's happening on an early stage of your life, really early on. Because if this has happened to me when I was, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 years old, my body will not have been able to take it. Because this is something that everybody and their mother has told me. The mind is more powerful than the body.
Absolutely.
If your mind can make you believe that you're bleeding, you're gonna die, regardless if you're bleeding or not. So, just please take care of your mental health. if you're feeling bad, please say so. Also, do not make rash decisions. As in, please do not, as much as you're feeling bad, take money from your parents and go see a doctor or something, because that's not good. And please take it from me. It's not that your parents will be mad, your parents will be disappointed. So, just, please take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. And I know that I've been talking about mental health a lot, but it's been happening to me and it's still happening to me. I don't know how I'm gonna feel tomorrow or how I'm gonna feel later or how I'm feeling right now. Just please do regular checkups on your mental health, on your physical health, to make sure everything's okay. And
yeah, and there's no need to apologize for talking about mental health. I think I truly think the world needs to normalize talking about mental health. This is not it's not a topic that we should feel guilt about talking about. It's important, and I think it's silly that some people don't think it's important. And I'm glad, or I'm happy to see that those people that don't acknowledge mental health, I'm happy to see that mentality is starting to go away. But yeah, very much. It's tough. Mental health issues are tough and they are valid. And I think if you, even if you don't think you have any, please do take the necessary steps to prevent them.
Yeah, because in the end, everybody has an anxiety. It's healthy to have it. But there's a lot of things that you do and think that are normal, but in reality they are not. So yes, in case that you are a person who is able to, because I'm not saying that you should see a doctor every month. Please do yearly to at least 6-month checkups to make sure that you're fine, both mentally and physically. And if you know that you're fine, you're gonna prevent things like being a hypochondriac, like I am. Because you're gonna have a medical history of your heart has been fine for all these long years. It will be fine for however many years is to come. And having an actual medical history is good. Unfortunately, I come from a family who doesn't believe that much in in going to the doctor for every single thing, which is good. You shouldn't go immediately to a doctor just because you have a headache. But just do yearly checkups. Do make sure that everything's okay. If you believe in homeopathy, which I do, talk to your homeopath every once in a while. Maybe they can help you, treat something that doesn't really have treatment with conventional medicine, like for example, hyperactiveness. Because hyperactiveness does have a medicine at the conventional medical world, but what it usually do is to completely kill your mental capacity to be happy.
Oh, I am very aware. I grew up with ADHD. Ritalin killed me. Just killed me.
Yeah, so, and this is something that I would like to emphasize. If you are hyperactive, it's not a bad thing. You just need to be ready that you're probably not gonna find people like you for a while. Because, everybody, generations from now on will be born hyperactive. Everybody will. But for now, just lay low, try to hang out with friends, and all this to say, check your mental health, check your body, make sure that everything's okay, because if you find, and this is the thing, if you end up finding something, because you've been checking it for a while, keeping a constant checkup on you, you will be able to most likely treat it and, you know, to be better. And that's all. Sorry, that's all I have to say.
Hey, no, that's important stuff. And
Your turn.
This is gonna be a little bit of whiplash, in that I think mine is a little bit less morose. I think so. 10 years ago, I very much, where was I 10 years ago? I was holding on to the dream. You know, I'd be making games and putting smiles on people's faces, and I think 10 years ago, past me would, he'd look at where I am now and see that my life has changed so radically from what has happened, and I think he'd get it. I don't. Maybe he wouldn't quite be happy, but he would look at like me now, Monty, and be like, okay. I mean, I can see the steps that you took to get there. That being said, I think I'd be angry at past me. Like I'd mentioned, past me was an asshole. Up to just 2-3 years ago, I was very much an asshole. So if I had a conversation with past me would probably be like, okay, I mean, I fucking guess that makes sense, and then I'd be like, shut the fuck up. You haven't experienced what it's like, really. Like, you haven't really grown up, and I think that is really the core of it. I took a long time to grow up, and I think I'm done growing up, but you always feel like you know what you're doing in the moment, and it's when you look in the past and you're like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah, and this is to say that really you're never done growing up.
Yeah, very much so.
You never really are, because you know, people will say that maybe in 21 I will be over all of my mental problems and stuff. But you know, I just no. But you know, it's just take care of yourself, man. Like, and be proud of who you are, even if past you will be disappointed of you, because in the end, you wouldn't be you if you didn't take the decisions that you make. I wouldn't be me right now if I didn't did this interview with Monty. Because you know, I will probably be worrying too much about my health on the corner, because you know, I am feeling kind of like down low right now. But you know, just do your best to be your best person.
Yeah, and to that point of, you know, you made those decisions. I've often thought about what would my life be like if I went back in time and made different decisions. But no, what probably happened for me, and what I think what happened for everyone, is you made the best decision at the time. It just so happened that, you know, like, your thinking wasn't right, and you had a lot of you were never immature back then, and what you thought was the best decision was bad, but there was no changing that. And yeah.
You know what you thought was the best decision may not have been, but you have to realize that, and this is like a time paradox thing, because like if you went back in time to prevent a certain event from happening, like me preventing having this mental situation, you will find that you will disappear, because that's no longer you.
Yeah, very, very grandfather paradox.
Yeah, that's no longer you. You will disappear. Or if you somehow stayed, you would be seeing yourself be happier than you are.
Yeah, very much so.
So, you know, all this to say, be proud of yourself. Love your mom. Drink water. Water is good.
Yes. Mental health is important.
Mental health is important, regardless if you feel like you're not. And just check up with your physician every single once in a while. Maybe. And while I do ask you to check to your physician, please do not be like me. Not because your knee is hurting suddenly it means that you have cancer. Like, it is possible, but don't put it as the first thing. But
and
yeah.
Then, of course, the most important takeaway from all of this: Sasuga winning Sun.
Sasuga winning Sun. Exactly. All we have to do is just be like Rimuru. That's it.
And with that, our second sweet and spicy interview comes to a close. Thank you so much for coming to this and for putting up with my scuff. Thank you so much for chat. Again, for putting up with the scuff. Yeah, this was really fun, and I really appreciate getting to know you more. I feel like you were like my first VTuber friend, so I've really gotten to know you a lot over the past few days. Past few weeks. But like this was a huge step forward. Yeah.
Is this the time where you want to say, you know what, I don't want to get involved with this person? Bye.
No, I lied above. I'm very much a mess on my own. I'm surprised you stuck around this long. But yes. Do you have any anything you'd like to say to chat real quick?
Well, I already said everything that I wanted to say.
Fair.
As you know, I do need help with medical bills and stuff. Because I do plan to take this test at some point in my life after I finish my homeopathic treatment, just to make sure everything's okay. So if you spare at least $1, because Mexican currency is fucked up, and $1 means it's a lot in here. If you spare $1 and you want to support a fellow VTuber instead of spending everything on scab, please help me. I'm right here. I will do anything for $1.
Yes, and Sakura's Twitter is in the description as well. That is to their VTuber account, but he does have a link to his artist account, which has commissions, and very much look at his art. It's good art, and the prices are fair. Get a commission. Do it.
Yeah. Thank you. I love you.
And I don't have much in the way of announcements. I keep saying that cool stuff will be happening next week. I don't really know when that's going to be planned. I will let you all know as soon as possible. And
cool stuff will be happening, yes. But I will not tell you what it is yet.
Truth be told, I haven't done. I'm waiting on a few stuff on my part as well, and I'm procrastinating, which is bad. So a lot of stuff is not done.
Just take your time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yes, thank you to absolutely everyone for the amazing stream. Thank you to Rye for sticking around this long. And for $1, huh? Lewd.
Listen, I do have a Notifier account, but you have to contact my main account first for that one. So
I love it. But yes, from me, you lovelies, this has been Monty Solana, your favorite fairy scholar. Have yourself a nice evening and goodbye.